Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. I got a fun update for you. Here's the headline from You Today. XRP Ledger introduces checks on June 18th, amendment approved. And this is interesting for a couple of reasons, including the fact that Ripple voted nay on this, further proving the decentralized nature of the XRP Ledger. Ripple said no, and the Ledger, with its decentralized nature, didn't care. Went ahead plowing forward here. And the 2-week waiting period passed, and so here we are. So I've got that, and there are a few other things I'll share with you in this video. But before we go any further, my XR people, if you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, it would mean so much to me. It helps with the YouTube algorithm and promotes the video more if you're willing to do so. Don't cost you nothing. And also, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. I mean, come on. It's time for you to treat yourself, girl. This is the best way to do it. All right, let's jump in now. Excuse me. It was recently disclosed that the controversial feature of checks has been implemented into the XRP Ledger mechanism. It's funny you call it that. XRP Ledger mechanism. The new instrument went live on June 18th. Then they have the subheading, one feature closer to classical banking. According to the official announcement by XRP Ledger developers, the checks amendment has gained support from the majority of validators. And by the way, the threshold, for those of you not aware, is 80%, and that has to be sustained for a full 2-week period. Now, as such, it has been added to the wide range of XRP Ledger functions. And you can see here it is from @SpringDev on the Twitters here. Checks amendment just went live on the XRP Ledger. So that was today at 3:41 a.m. and they could be in whatever time zone, but still, I'm just saying, not so long ago. It was today. But checks on the XRP Ledger will work similarly to classic personal paper cash checks. The sender initiates a transaction to issue a check for a specific maximum amount in recipient. Later, the recipient can cash the check to receive up to the specified amount. Developers outlined that the actual transfer occurs only when the check is cashed. So, in the case of the insufficient liquidity, the whole operation might fail. Until the check is cashed, the XRP remains in the ledger, the sender's ledger, so the recipient can claim it later. Yep. And that's one of the annoying things about checks, too. I mean, I suppose if you, like, old school balance your checkbook, it's not a problem, but given that nobody uses checks, I don't know how many people are actually doing that. But if you actually write a check in the real world, and then somebody could cash it, like, weeks or months later, and then it just, money goes away from your account, and like, what was that? Unless you're actually balancing your checkbook. But again, that's so old school. Who is actually doing that today? I'm sure there's somebody out there listening to me that actually does. Make yourself known. I want to study you in a lab. What is going on here? I don't think there are a lot of people doing that these days. But anyway, to support the new update, no specific action is required from XRP users. The developers just need to check whether their libraries support the amendment. However, this novelty goes far beyond an ordinary technical upgrade. As emphasized by Wietse Wind, a well-known XRP contributor, this amendment was implemented without the approval of Ripple-associated validators. And of course, for those of you not in the know, Wietse Wind, rather, is the creator of the XRP Tipbot. He's also the founder of XRPL Labs, which is funded through Ripple's Spring Initiative, and they have created their Sum app, XUMM, and it's pronounced sum, because they want to make it as impossible to know that having not heard it prior as possible, and they've achieved that. I'm joking in good fun. Anyway, here's a tweet from Wietse Wind. This is pretty cool. Number one, this went live without the votes of Ripple validators. Number two, I can think of a few interesting implementations in the future. Then he writes, first, sum, and that's going to sound confusing because he wrote out the word sum, S-O-M-E, and then hashtag sum, X-U-M-M. See how confusing this gets? So anyway, he wrote some things to work on, adding checks support being one of them. But I'll create some cool things with checks later. So I certainly look forward to seeing what we'd say Win comes up with here. He's a sharp dude. But and then they write here to wrap up here, as covered by You Today Crypto News, this is the first update on the XRP ledger that has been implemented in this manner. I don't know. It depends on what they mean by this manner. I mean, as far as the requirements for amendments, there's always been 80% threshold and then that 2-week waiting period. But if they mean just in the sense that Ripple wasn't behind it, I actually don't know off the top of my head if there were other examples of Ripple not being for something and then validators went ahead and did it anyway. I honestly just don't know off the top of my head. This is the first one that made news, and it's that I can recall of anyway. So perhaps it is the first here. And then they write, this may highlight the decentralized nature of XRP instruments, which is crucial in protecting XRP from being regulated as a security. Well, you can look at it that way if you want. I think there are all sorts of other reasons. The decentralization part of that is certainly key. But it's just, if it were security, it's like, it just goes back to the whole conversation of like a security of what? Why would it necessarily be Ripple when there are so many entities around the world that have massive XRP holdings and massive interest? Like it's not clear, especially given that Ripple didn't create XRP anyway. All right, next, here's a tweet from XRP Marks the Spot, who tagged yours truly, Moon Lambo, and wrote the following. Uphold, which, by the way, it's a cryptocurrency exchange located in the United States. Uphold is taking all the right steps, integrating with the best plumbing. Stream your coil payments right into your Uphold account now. Well, that seems kind of frickin' baller. So here's a tweet from, so that was a retweet from XRP Marks the Spot, where he tagged me. And the tweet here from Santiago Velez wrote, Uphold Inc. is this for real? Did you incorporate Interledger Protocol, ILP, payment pointers into your platform? By Odin's left eye, the Internet of money meets the Internet of value. And here you can see Odin's left eye. That's fantastic. So you can see right here, fund from Interledger payment pointer. That's pretty cool because, of course, as far as Coil is concerned, I mean, that's a big part of the magic that makes Coil possible, which, of course, is a new form of web monetization where you can basically stream money in real time, uses Interledger Protocol and XRP. And there's a funny response here. I thought the same thing when I saw Odin's left eye. I thought, great, Odin's Raven. Some of you are going to remember that line from Anchorman with Will Ferrell here. It's an exclamatory remark which makes no damn sense, which is why it's funny. Because what's the definition of humor? I don't know. It should probably just be one word. Absurdity. If it's absurd, it's got a chance of being funny. But he just exclaims, great Odin's Raven. It's good stuff there. All right, next. Here's something I retweeted from my fellow XRP YouTuber, Crypto Eddie. I'm a fan of Crypto Eddie. She puts out some really good videos. And so... Here's what she put out that I retweeted here, because she actually did a little bit of work which I really appreciate, to get an actual answer herself. So there were recently, and I made a video about this, there were several new customers that were made known to the public via an article, and XRParcade.com, run by Leonidas. He put this out, and that's the article that I covered anyway the other day. And he went through and ran through them, and this was one of them. It was BC Remit, and this is the first that the XRP community had heard of this customer, and they've been with Ripple who knows how long, because most of Ripple's actual customers they are not making themselves known, especially the ones I think that are utilizing XRP as a bridge currency, because why would you want your competitors to know that you've got this magic new technology that's going to make them obsolete, right? So that makes all the sense in the world to me. But anyway, here's what Crypto Eddie wrote. Like I said, I'm only interested in XRP ODL use. New RippleNet Cloud user BC Remit confirms just a moment ago they are in the early stages of on-demand liquidity adoption. Keep adding more XRP to those piles needed to facilitate this vision. Now, isn't that badass? So we just got word that they're a new customer within the last few days, and then Crypto Eddie was proactive here and just asked. And so here's a screen grab. And then so you can see from BC Remit, we'll inform you of the feedback. And then she wrote, thank you. And then BC Remit wrote, hi, ma'am. As per our technical team, we are in the early stages of adoption of Ripple on-demand liquidity. And then Crypto Eddie responded, you are the best, thank you. And then BC Remit, being the civil individuals they are clearly, wrote, thanks as well. And so that's absolutely coming down the pike here. Now, somebody here, I don't know who this is, Cryptato, wrote fake with drawn out letters and 4 question marks. Crypto Eddie responded. I don't know why somebody would even assume that this is Crypto Eddie. But Crypto Eddie responded and wrote, "That is my real Facebook chat, silly. What a stupid comment. Full screenshot for your doubt. You are blocked, buddy." And so she did a full screen grab there. I just can't imagine all the people you could possibly think are putting something fake out into the world. You think Crypto Eddie is going to be the one to do that? She's completely reputable, and I can't imagine her ever just... And to what end? BC Remit, she's going to make this up and spend the time photoshopping this crap. It's ridiculous. But anyway, it's clearly real, and I appreciate that she put this out into the world for the rest of us to know. Good stuff, man. Adoption continues, and businesses, remittance companies would not be adopting on-demand liquidity and thus XRP if it weren't legitimately useful, if it weren't solving a real-world problem, but it is, and that's why I could not be more confident for the long-term viability of not just this asset class, but specifically XRP. But I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything, because if anything I say or write, that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!